from Scott Gymnasium. Time for Dickinson State University Blue Hawk volleyball. Big match tonight. Yeah, they're playing Valley City State University, and these two teams in a battle for that final playoff spot in the Frontier Conference. The top 8 teams going. Right now, Valley City State 8 and 10, Dickinson 7 and 11. And those two teams are kind of battling to get into that number 8 spot. So it'll be interesting. I'm Rod Klein, and I haven't done volleyball for a long time, and I've got my volleyball expert, Kyle Smith, next to me. Kyle's going to help me out and do some color commentary and keep everything flowing. Trace Wells and the crew from Consolidated will keep us on the air. We'll be live with you tonight on Channel 18 and also on the Blue Hawk Network via YouTube, so you can follow both the Vikings and the Blue Hawks tonight. And like I said, Kyle, I get to see volleyball every once in a while, but not as much as I probably should or could. But always exciting when Valley City State and Dickinson State play. It doesn't matter if it's in the gym with a basketball, a volleyball, or on the football field, or at the diamond with a softball or a baseball. It's so fun to see these two teams slide. And like I said, Stormy, I walked away from her. She gave me the starters. I said a big match tonight. She just looked at me and shook her head, so I knew it was a big match.
Stormy and the girls are ready to go for tonight. Valley City coming in to Scott Gymnasium. And I'm glad you brought up the playoff hunt, because we can't let the other story. Over 50 years of broadcast experience, we got 2 rookies doing a volleyball game tonight. One of us has 50 years experience. The other has about 2 minutes of experience on the radio. So we appreciate you joining us tonight for the broadcast.
No, you have 4 minutes now. You've been on for
4
2
minutes. 4 minutes. There you go.
You're going. We're doing a great job. But anyway, we'll do our best to keep you updated. Like I said, the last time I did a volleyball match was about a quarter of a century ago, and this is only the second one I've ever done. So bear with me. I might miss a beat here or there, and then Kyle's going to pick me up and carry me through. So let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight for both Dickinson State and for Valley City State tonight here at Scott Gym. For Valley City State, they'll go with Macy Fridgen, the outside hitter, the senior out of Bismarck. Ellie Lucas will be an outside hitter out of Argusville, a sophomore. Again, the libero, the defensive specialist, will be J.C. Richter, who just set a record last week in Valley City Saturday night against Rocky Mountain for Dig. And then Danelle Hagler will be the middle blocker out of Candu. By the way, J.C., the senior out of Linton, and the Candu senior is Danelle Hagler. And then Preeti, another common name in there, won't be in the lineup, but we'll see some action from that senior. Annika Pulju will be the middle blocker, 5'7", a freshman out of Minnesota, out of Quebec, Minnesota. And also Madden Bogenreif. Bogenreif will be at the start as the setter for out of Moorhead, Minnesota. A freshman, Michelle Mickeljohn, the head coach in her 3rd season. For Stormy Simeon in her 2nd season, she'll go with Geraldine Fernandez, a defensive specialist. Also starting will be Taylor Fisher, a DS, a defensive specialist. Taylor Gare, a defensive specialist. Pin will be starting. And also Riley Koglachak, who's had an outstanding season as a setter for Dickinson State, will be doing those honors. Another player that's had an outstanding year, Carmen Pallone, middle blocker and a pin for Dickinson State. A sophomore will start. And Samantha Oath, the veteran basketball player, now volleyball player for 1 year, also will be in competition, the middle blocker, the senior out of Reeder, North Dakota. So I don't want to tip the table over before we start, but that's a look at that.
Well,
Go
Rod,
ahead, Kyle.
If we look at the rosters. I think a very different tale of 2 teams here. Valley City State made up of all Minnesota and North Dakota. They got 5 girls on the team from Minnesota, 14 from North Dakota. Then we jump over to the Blue Hawks. Coach Simeon taking a much different approach. They have 5 different states and 2 Canadian provinces. Blue Hawks are made up of kids from Utah, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Manitoba, and Alberta.
Okay, all over.
Okay.
Okay.
She's recruiting the whole area, where Coach Michael John is focusing on her backyard.
Okay.
North Dakota and Minnesota.
All right. Hey, talk a little bit about what it is tonight. A lot of pink out there. We've got a special night going on. I stopped out and visited with the ladies in the hallway from Sanford, got myself a wristband, and what's it all about, Kyle, tonight?
Yep, I stuck a couple wristbands for the kids at home as well. But yeah, tonight we are very, very lucky to be joined by the Sanford Edith Foundation. They're here promoting their breast cancer awareness and all that they do for folks in South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota. Our game day sponsors tonight are also Sodexo and Choice Bank. Sodexo does a tremendous amount for our kids on campus. Anything from catering to providing services in the dining hall. And then Choice Bank, long time supporter of Blue Hawk Athletics.
So, Desco, are they catering for the broadcasters tonight? Do you know, will we have steak and lobster up there later, or do we have to wait till we're done?
I'm going to have to check the text messages on that one, but Sodexo does help us with our new hospitality area that President Molander is bringing to Scott Gym.
Okay.
So for all season ticket holders, before conference volleyball and conference basketball games on Friday night, we'll have a hospitality section set up right there adjacent to Scott Gym. So Victoria and her team continue to go above and beyond for us.
All right, new addition. That's a great addition, too. So, all right, let's take just some quick thoughts here. We're just about 2 minutes away from our national anthem and introduction of starting lineups here at Scott Gymnasium. Looking forward to it here tonight. You know, I'm afraid I'm going to knock this table over.
I think I got us now.
I think I got my duct tape. We might have to duct tape it down in between set 1 and set 2. But again, Valley City State did defeat Dickinson State earlier this year, 3-1 in a matchup that was played at Valley City. So Valley City does have that first win against Dickinson State in conference play. And of course, after tomorrow night, Mayville State comes into Dickinson State, and they'll take on the Blue Hawks night, and that'll be a 6 p.m. night. I think, Trace, what we're going to do, let's take a quick break here with the clock winding down. We'll let Consolidated take care of business a little bit, and let's make it a 90-second break, Trace, and then we'll come back with more and get ready to roll with the first hit, first set, and first serve of tonight's match, Dickinson State and Valley City State.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Bravera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts,
let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account,
to wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals.
Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
Do you think Benny Paulson from Breaking 8 has only played 1 gig?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to my first gig. After this concert, I'm retiring.
Of course not. Whether you're in a band playing multiple gigs a week or a family running multiple devices in your house, you need the speed and reliability to keep up. Multi-gig speeds with no lag, no buffering, always running at maximum volume. Feel like a rock star and call Consolidated for the multi-gig speed you need to amp up your internet today.
Howdy, partner. This is Cowboy Clay with my trusty steed, Hercules. There's a new stop on the map, Cowboy Station in Killdeer, North Dakota. Whether you ride steel or saddle, Cowboy Station's got everything you need to fuel your rig, feed your crew, and fill your cup. Remember, y'all, don't forget to come on down to Cowboy Station, where we have everything you need for the trail ahead.
There you go, our national anthem and the introduction here of our lineups just happening now. Valley City will be dressed in their white jerseys with black shorts, and Dickinson State all blue with the pink sleeves and pink shirts and that type of thing. So we're just about set to go. Anxious to see this matchup. Should be a good one tonight here, Kyle. And again, as I said, Dickinson State really Stormy, you mentioned recruiting from all over, has really turned the program around. Last year, I think they had just 3 or 4 wins, and this year already on the season, 11 wins, 12 losses, and right at that 500 mark, and they've had some impressive wins over nationally ranked teams this season also.
Yep, Stormy and her team last year recorded 5-21,
okay.
and this year we're already up to 11-12. Thank you. And when you look at what they've been able to do in a short amount of time, going back a number of years, it's been a long time since Dickinson State's had that kind of turnaround and a competitive volleyball team like this. So a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on Coach Simeon right now.
Yeah, they've done a great job this year, and like we said, the potential is there. As we said, this is just a key matchup tonight against Valley City State to get into the Frontier Conference tournament that will be held later in November. And if memory serves me right, I believe it will be Carroll College will host that, and it will be in Helena, Montana. But 8 teams get there, 4 teams don't, and I know both these teams want to be there, so I think we'll see a very competitive and a very, well, when Valley City State and Dickinson State play, like I mentioned at the top, it's always very intense and spirited, and we'll see no difference tonight here at the Scott Gymnasium facility. Our referees are ready to go tonight also here. They'll work the ball game, or the match, the volleyball match, I should say. I guess it is kind of a ball game, but Dickinson State again, it'll be Fernandez along with Fisher, Gare, Kolgastat along with Cologne, and also Ellison, and also Oates in that starting lineup for Dickinson State. And then Stormy indicated that Egan will come in almost immediately after the first serve of the ball game, so there will be competition there also for her tonight in the matchup. Substitutes, I'm not real familiar with the substitution process in volleyball, but I'm assuming it's kind of similar to basketball.
Yep, we're going to have a little bit of a learning curve for both of us on that one, so we'll keep everybody as educated as we can possibly be on that one.
They can educate us as possible. Or Trace Wells can let us know. Trace, our engineer and technician, and thanks to him for getting us all set up over here. I said, it was kind of nice to come, because when I do radio, you bring a lot of gear with you, and you got to set it up yourself. Trace had everything set up. All he had to do was plug in my headset, so thanks, Trace. Appreciate that tonight. Great camera folks over there across the way, Stephanie, and not sure who else is on camera tonight, but they're doing a great job over there also. All right, Valley City introduced, Dickinson State introduced, and let's see if we're going to get underway a little bit late. Our first serve going to come at 6:05 p.m. Mountain Time, 7:05 Central Time.
Yep, one of those rare Thursday night volleyball matchups. Only the second Thursday game the Blue Hawks have had this year. That first year in that new Frontier Conference, some flexibility for some of these teams with some Wednesday night opportunities, some Thursday night opportunities. So I think we'll see more and more students kind of trickle in as practices wrap up, dinner rush is done. But one thing you got to love about these in-state games is the other team being able to travel. Valley City well represented tonight. A lot of parents here in the crowd. One of the best parts about that small college athletics we got.
Well, you know, it's a lot closer Valley City to Dickinson than Dillon, Montana to Dickinson. So yeah. I've been on that trip before, and I'll be on it again during basketball season. But again, Dickinson again ready to go. So now we got a substitute even before the game started, or the match started, excuse me. Dickinson State will serve first, and getting ready to do the honors for the Blue Hawks will be Gare. So Gare ready to serve. Our first point up for grabs between Dickinson State and Valley City State. Gare drills it over the net. Nice catch and pound back by Valley. Over the net, a little dig, a little punch over the net again by Dickinson State. It drops in the backcourt. Richter's going to pull it back, and Puju's going to pull it back into the south, but it's side out. Well, not side out. Valley City missed the side, so it's a point for Dickinson State as they jump out 1-0.
Yep, always tough to get that first point out of the way. Everybody kind of settles into the game. Up for our second serve.
Gare again ready with the serve. It's going to be dug out of there. Nicely done that time by Hagler, and then Dickinson State can't handle it, and they get the point. They being Valley City State, and we're even at 1-1. Quickly in, like Stormy mentioned, checking into the ball game will be Egan. So Egan will check into the ball game. Aston comes in, a 5'7" junior out of Cold Strip, Montana. Serve on the way for Valley City State, doing the honors is Clark. There's a tip and a dig. Nice dig down low by the defensive specialist. Valley tries to pound it over again. The Hawks block it. Here we go again. The block by Dickinson State is one. Nicely done that time by Kovalchuk, who's had a few of those this year.
The Blue Hawk volleyball team this year been one of the better ones blocking at the net. I've been around Dickinson State Athletics for a better part of 20 years now, and this is one of those teams that does it better than the rest.
Cologne with the serve, but she misses the serve. It's out. She'll check out. We're even again at 2-2, so the pace going quickly here and very intense as we expected. A 2-2 in the first set. Valley City State and Dickinson State. Back behind the serve line, getting ready to do the honors for Valley City. Number 19, Schumacher in. Nice dig that time by Fernandez. Up in the air, the ball pounded over the net that time by Dickinson State's Ellison. Now back on the right side to dig out of there, up over the top. Did it hit the support? It did. So the bar gives a point to Valley City State, and it's a 3-2 lead for the Vikings.
One of those odd adversity things you have to overcome in some of these older gyms across North Dakota. Scott Gym dating back to the 50s.
Well, I know a guy that raises money. Couldn't we get a dome here, and then maybe we work on that?
I might know somebody for that.
Okay, all right. Anyway, the point goes because it went up into the ceiling and hit the support, the beam support. 3-2 lead, Valley City. They give it right back to Dickinson State as the serve goes long that time by Clark, I do believe, on the serve that time, and now we're even at 3-3. Kovalchuk will go back. Riley will serve for Dickinson State, the junior out of Hardin, Montana. Boy, what a year she has had. There's the serve. It's going to be tipped out of there and controlled by Clark. Clark will get it to her teammate, but hitting it into the net that time is Spridgen, the outside hitter from Bismarck. And the Hawks grab the lead back 4-3. Kind of the way we thought this, back and forth, Kyle.
Back and forth early. Neither team's really settling into what they want to do on offense just yet.
Kovalchuk drills that one, and that, I believe, is called an ace.
There, we got it. We got the terminology right on that one.
The first time I got one right, but it is an ace for Kovalchuk, and it's a 5-3 lead for Dickinson State. Kovalchuk again ready. Another good serve, and that one's going to be out. So misses one, aces one, and it's a 5-4 lead for Dickinson State, but Valley City will get the serve back, and doing the honors for the Vikings will be a dandy, a great athlete, volleyball and basketball. It's J.C. Richter, the senior out of Linton, North Dakota, and she'll hit the serve. It's on the way. Nice dig that time by Dickinson State, digging it out of there, Egan. There's a pound that time on the right side, getting a hand on it for Dickinson State. And now the tip by Valley City State over the net. We're even again at 5-5.
Blue Hawks and the Vikings both have some of those unique athletes that we see up here. Two-sport athletes in college. Samantha Ost on the Blue Hawks side. She was a four-year basketball player and finishing out her final year of eligibility on the volleyball court.
Tip in the air. There's a nice drive by Ost into the backcourt. Valley City saves it. Comes back over the net. Back in the backcourt of Dickinson State. High in the air. Little drip drive. Beautiful drop shot that time by Dickinson State's Aubrey Ellison, the junior, 5'7", and the pin for the Hawks did it well.
If this is your first time listening to a broadcast, you're going to hear Allison a few times. She's very aggressive at the net. One of those utility players that can play in multiple spots.
6-5 Dickinson State. There's the serve by the Hawks. Valley City approaches the net. A dig and a drive, and boy, that was a hammer by the Vikings, and they even the score up again at 6-6. So Dickinson State and Valley all even into the ball game for Valley City. Comes Hagler. He'll check in and doing the serving for Valley City State. Stepping beyond the service line is Puglia, Annika Puglia out of Sebeka, Minnesota. Dig and save that time by Fernandez. There's a tip and the drive that time by Dickinson State. Albrecht with a nice job. Albrecht got up in the air and powered that one over, Kyle, and got the point for the Hawks, 7-6. Dickinson State Fernandez getting ready to go to work. Fernandez, defensive specialist, Eagle Mountain, Utah.
Fernandez, one of those carryovers from the previous coaching staff. Not many left on this team, but she's one of those that went through some adversity and has stuck around long enough to start to see success on the other side of the tunnel.
That ball all over the place, and Dickinson saves it nicely on the far side. There's a drive and dug out of there by Kovalchuk. And now it's going to be Kovalchuk over the net. Valley digs it right back with a nice tip. Shot backcourt, and it's saved back there by Ellison. And now they drive it to the net, and Valley City gets the point as the Hawks couldn't get it back over, and it's 7-7 with them on the scoreboard. Dickinson State and Valley even.
Ball wasn't quite where Egan thought it was going to go, but she tried to adjust in the area. Just couldn't quite get it over.
Valley City ready to serve again. The Vikings doing the honors. Bogan Rife will do the honors. Madden, a 5'8 freshman out of Moorhead, Minnesota. A Moorhead spot, I'm assuming. There's the serve. Dig outside. Did it go out? Yep, didn't catch the line. So Valley moves back out in front, 8-7, as we just seesaw back and forth here in this first set. Valley City State and Dickinson State. Serve goes to Bogan Rife again, the 5'8 freshman from Moorhead. Over the net it comes. Dickinson State will dig it out of there. Egan does the job, gets it right back. Egan pounds that one way out of bounds. Too much on that one. Hit the fastball and it sailed on her, and it's a 9-7 lead for Valley City. Again, Bogan Rife trying to run a little bit here, going on a little run now as she's served 2 consecutive points, trying to make it 3. There's the ball tipped up by Dickinson State. It's close to the net and dropping it not over the net but into the net for Dickinson State was Floy, a freshman out of Powell, Wyoming, and all of a sudden Valley City State has a 10-7 lead over Dickinson State here in the first set.
Second opportunity over on that left side for the Blue Hawks to return it. Not able to time it up just right.
Fernandez will save the dig that time as it went backwards instead of forwards towards the net. Valley City's Richter pounds it back into the backcourt. There's Kogoshak again, gets it off the near side. Nice shot that time. Power shot. Boy, that was nailed by Albrecht, and she put it on the hands and on the floor, and Valley City couldn't handle it. 10-8 Vikings.
Yep, senior from Bozeman right there with the power move, a lot of experience. Previously played at Presentation College before making her way up to Dickinson.
All right, serve underway for Dickinson State. Vikings Richter will tip it up. Her teammate will push it over the net that time. Lucas out comes back to Dickinson State. Low dig. Richter digs it out of there. Right side, they pound it to the ground. Does it go out? Yes, it does. Touch last by Dickinson State. So the ball off the Hawks. Point to Valley City State. 11-8 Vikings on the scoreboard here at Scott Gym. Back to do the serving honors for Valley City. Looking for dropping back deep. The Ornby, it looks like, will do the serving. There's a nice serve. That ball bounces around. Fernandez digs it in the back line. Comes back across the net. It'll be controlled by the Vikings. There's the tip. And there's the point again for Valley City State as Hagler garners that point. And it's 12-8. And that is the biggest lead the Vikings have had here in the first set. Again, serving coming from the Vikings, who lead it now 12-8 over the Hawks. There's the serve in the net. Service there. And that gives a point to Dickinson State. So Bjornby loses the serve. 12-9 Dickinson State.
Blue Hawks aren't going to apologize for that one. Sometimes to stop the momentum, you'll take anything that you can get, especially in this first set here. See if the Blue Hawks can get something answered here.
Service by Gare is across the net. Valley digs it out of there. Ball tipped in the air right through the block that time. Valley City's Macy Fridgen out of Bismarck pounded it through the block, and it's back to a 13-9 lead, a 4-point lead for Valley City State.
Egan back on for the Blue Hawks now.
Okay, back into the ball game. Aspen Egan, the junior from Colstrip, Montana. Serve comes across the net, dug out of there by Egan. The aforementioned Egan, the ball out of bounds. Dickinson State will pick up the point on the block, and it goes across and over for the Hawks, 13-10. Back to serve for Dickinson State. Stepping in now will be Pallone for the Hawks. Pallone with the high serve brings it into the backcourt. Richter couldn't handle it. There's another ace for Dickinson State. So Pallone hits the ace, and it's 13-11.
Pallone, one of the few underclassmen seeing substantial playing time this year for the Blue Hawks. Good to see her young career starting off on a strong note.
She's earned Player of the Week a couple of times with Player of the Week honors. There's the serve. Dickinson State tries to get it back. Nice little dig tap. That time it goes cross court. Blocked out of there by Valley City and out of bounds. As the Hawks got good performance that time on the sideline by Aubrey Ellison. You mentioned her name, and we mentioned it again.
She's the emotional spark plug of this team. You can tell when the Hawks are rolling, she's in it. She's coaching them up on the floor. Always bring that energy.
13-12, 1-point Valley City lead. There's a nice job. The Vikings got it back and split it between two Blue Hawk defenders. Got a hand on it, but it goes to the floor before they could return. 14-12.
Rod, when you look up and down the Frontier Conference, not too many teams travel and play well. Valley City, one of the few teams with a 500 or above record on the road this year.
Okay, they look very composed. Nice dig that time by Richter, but out of bounds. did all she could do to save it, but JC couldn't keep it in play. Back to a 1-point game, 14-13. It is the lead for Valley City State over Dickinson State. Again, serve coming from Dickinson State. Kogelchak gets it down low. It's dug out of there by the Vikings. Clark tipped right back up in the air that time by Schumacher. Now over the net. Nice save by Kogelchak to keep the play alive. And it goes in the backcourt. Still dug out of there. Kogelchak again will get a hand on it and push it across. It comes to Clark. Now on the right side. They're going to go high in the air. Stays in play. Hawks save it momentarily. They tip it back. Vikings got it. Right back it goes to Schumacher. Tipped back in the backcourt to Dickinson State's Egan. Egan goes back across the net. Richter goes live with it. Keeps the play alive. Oh, nice save backcourt by Egan again. Cross court it goes and into the net that time. Trying to get it across was Ellison, but just missed the hit.
Great rally there. Sometimes pretty. Sometimes scrapping to make sure the ball gets back over the net, but good rally there here halfway through the first set.
15-13, Valley City State in the lead over Dickinson State. There's the serve, this time Richter with the serve. Dickinson State trying to keep it alive. Taps it over. Valley City keeps it alive. What do you have there? Valley City, they call it catch, I believe that.
Catch, carry.
Whatever he wants. It was like center fielder putting it in the glove and then throwing it back to the infield, but it's a point for Dickinson State, 15-14. Again, doing the serving honors for Dickinson, Aubrey Ellison. There's the ball up in the air, and that one's going to bounce all around. Richter trying to save it. Cannot. And Dickinson State battled back. They were down 13-9, 12-8. They've tied it up now, 15-15. Great match between these two teams.
Second time we've seen the ball rattle around in the rafters. If you can return it and it doesn't impact the other team, I think the ball is still alive.
Okay. There's a serve by Dickinson State. Schumacher gets it across the net. Fernandez can't keep it in play, though. She's a bit off balance trying to pull it inside the line, but it goes outside, and Valley ends that little mini run by Dickinson State and takes the lead now 16-15. Again, serving for Valley City State. Poolhill, the middle blocker, freshman out of Temecula, Minnesota. Brings it across the net. Fernandez taps it off. Up to the net for Dickinson State comes the Blue Hawks. Nice job again by Albrecht. He's shown some good power tonight on those net plays for Dickinson State. 16-16. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, Blue Hawks are going to be successful if they can control the net. So far, that has kept them in it right now.
16-16 our score. Again, Fernandez with the serve. Richter receives it, and they go over the net, and a nice little drop. Big smile on the face that time of Schumacher. She knew it was coming and then saw Dickinson State's middle open up and just a little plunk drop shot, and it fell in for a point for Valley City, 17-16. Back serving for Valley City State again. Bogenreich, the freshman out of Moorhead. The right-hander drills it across the net. Nice dig that time by Dickinson State. And it comes out, but it goes out of bounds. So that time hitting it too far was Kate Floyd, a freshman out of Powell, Wyoming. And the Vikings go back up 18-16 on the Scott Jim scoreboard here in Dickinson. Again, ready serving. Bogenreich had a good night serving for Valley City. She drills it across again. Little tip back, nice save by Dickinson State. Across the net it comes. Valley City will return it right at the net. Fernandez pokes it up in the air. It's going to be saved, and it goes right through the arm of Valley City State's Bogenreich, the server. And guess who did it again? Albrecht there to do it again. Pounded it home, 18-17 Valley.
Yep, President Molander on the quick hands over there, helping our ball shaggers tonight.
There's a serve. It's going to be dug out of there by the Vikings that time, and they'll dig it back, and they keep it alive. Dickinson State just misplayed it as it came across the net. Ellison tried to get there. Fernandez tried to get there, and neither could. So the Vikings take a 19-17 lead here on the scoreboard at Scott Jim.
Dickinson right now just hurting themselves with a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of cleanup on the communication on the defensive side. Hopefully they get that figured out here as we get into the 20s.
Well, Bjornby in to serve, and again she drills it long. She's done that twice now, coming in serving. And gives Dickinson State that 3-point, 19-18 Valley City State.
Blue Hawks creeping back up there, see if this is their opportunity to go on a little run.
Taylor Gare will serve, and she drills it in the backcourt. Nice save that time by the Vikings. Looked like it was going to go out, but didn't. And the Blue Hawks, great dig that time. But what do we got? Valley City gets the point. Not quite sure what the fist in the air means, but Valley City gets the point, so it makes it a 20, should be 20-18 lead, I believe.
Not sure on the fist in the air. My best guess, it hit that metal rafter right above the net there, or was a call. The ball hit the hand and the floor at the same time on the return.
All right, so it's a Valley City point, regardless of what it was. Dickinson State trying to get the point back. They do. Wow.
Aubrey Allison.
There he is again. You know your volleyball here. You called Allison all night long, and she's done a great job for Dickinson State. 20-19.
Sometimes these players make it easy on you, right?
There's the serve again by the Hawks. Richter will dig it out of there, gets it to her teammate, and it's pounding right back that time. Sam Oates, the Reeder, North Dakota native, former Blue Hawk basketball player, picked up a big-time save and then a pound down for Dickinson State. We're even at 20-20. Nice play by Sam that time. Ball tipped in the air by the Vikings. They keep it alive. Lucas to the honors. There's a little dip again, and Valley City barely spots something because they've gotten away with that 2 or 3 times where the Hawks just leave that space when Valley gets there.
Valley City definitely finding the zone behind that first row right there, finding creative ways to get to it. Sometimes it's quick on the first attempt on the return. Sometimes they play it on the second time.
Serve again, and Dickinson State will return it. Kolgoshak gets it to Oates, and again, Oates pounds it through. As he drives it home against the Vikings, 21-21 the score. Dickinson State and Valley City State. Kolgoshak will go back. Riley will serve for Dickinson State. He's going to have a break in the action. Dickinson State gets the serve in. Looked like it was going to out, but Valley played it, so it stays alive. There's the tip up in the air. Nice job that time by Pridgeon. Ball back. Richter grabs it, saves it. They drop it up. Fernandez saves it for Dickinson State to Kolgoshak. Back on the right side, Ellison has it. Couldn't get it down. Valley keeps it alive, and they kill it that time with a big-time hammer by Pridgeon. The outside hitter, 6'1" senior from Bismarck, 22-21 Valley.
Dickinson's definitely got to find a way to keep it from number 1 on the Valley City side. Pridgeon doing a great job when she gets on that isolated side of finding a way to get a point.
J.T. Richter will serve the ball. Kolachak gets it to Oates. Oates pounds it. I think it went off a Viking. Nope, they say it didn't. I thought it did. Valley City gets the point, 23-21. Stormy Simeon wants a timeout. We'll take a break on Consolidated. I'm not quite sure how long the timeouts are, so Trace, I'm going to let you control the break. Let's go to Trace Wells in our break. Vikings up by 2, 23-21 in set 1. A 1-minute timeout.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
What do you get when you buy a vehicle from Dan Porter Motors?
Ooh, I know. Buy any vehicle from Dan Porter Motors and get car washes for life.
That's a long time when you're my age. That's right, folks. Forever. No diaper required. Get free car washes for life with any vehicle when you buy a car at Dan Porter Motors, 58601.
That's a pretty good deal. Dan Porter Motors, baby approved, growing up guaranteed.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Back here in Scott Gymnasium, about time we saw some youth over at the guys at Dan Porter Motor on that last commercial.
Tip in the air, and the service for Dickinson State, and they bring it back across the net. And Allison puts it down. Will it stay in play? It does. O taps it up. Kolgoshak stays alive. It goes down the backcourt. What a shot that time by Dickinson State. And I believe that was Albrecht, if I'm not mistaken, that put it down the line, and Valley couldn't get to it. 23-22.
Looks like she second-guessed herself as it left her fingertips, but she guessed right the first time. Snuck it right in there in the back corner.
Doing the service honors for Dickinson State, Aubrey Ellison. Ellison approaches the line and puts it over the net. It's going to be dug out of there by the Vikings, and that's put down.
And Albright again. Left it hanging. High fastball in the zone, and she took every opportunity at it.
Now, you and I couldn't have probably did that, but we could have got close. But she played that perfectly and just pounded it home against Valley City State. 23 or 20. Oh, no, they gave it to Belly. Oh, I don't know what the call was.
Our youth and inexperience is shining through on that play.
Oh, okay. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but 24-22. Crowd isn't real pleased with it either, but let's look at it here and see what happened now. Did they net? Did it hit the net?
I don't see any net movement there. I'm pretty sure the ball crossed over.
Okay. Well,
not to be accused of being a homer, but I thought that was a good play. But
I have no idea. So,
yeah, in the timeout, the Edith Sanford Breast Center is changing how patients and their families experience breast health services and cancer care. To visit, edith.sanfordhealth.org to learn more.
All right, a great night tonight. A lot of pink in the stands tonight, a lot of pink on the player side on Dickinson State. Of course, every school, I think, kind of has a cancer awareness night, and Dickinson State having their breast cancer awareness night tonight here at Scott Gym. So maybe somebody will explain what that ruling was on that call, but it looked like a great play that time by Albrecht, but it was given to Valley City State. So 24-22, the Vikings get the point. We're not going to change that, so the point is mute. Let's play on here. Valley City State will serve now, and trying to serve for the set win will be match point, or not match point, but set point will be Puglia. There's the serve in the backcourt. Fernandez digs it. It's going to be pulled out, and a long come across by Ellison, drops it in. Richter puts it to her teammate that time, comes across the net. Fernandez again with the save. Gets it back over, and they put it up in the air. Valley City's Richter will tap it high in there to her teammate. They drop it out of bounds. Vikings tried to drop it in. Lucas had a little space, but couldn't find home, and it's 24-23.
Dickinson State finding a way to stay alive in this first set. Fernandez back to serve for the Blue Hawks.
Geraldine will do the honors. The defensive specialist, 5'6" junior, Eagle Mountain, Utah. Trying to keep the Hawks' hopes alive. Richter digs it out right on the back line. And there's the point for Valley City State. And they'll come away with the first set as the Vikings will win it 25-23 and take a 1-0 lead over Dickinson State. Kyle, some thoughts. We got about 3 minutes. We'll give Trace a chance to take a break, but let's wrap up this first set. We said it would be intense, it would be competitive, and it was just that.
Yep, just what we thought it was going to be. Neither team was able to separate. Defense able to rally to keep them in it. A couple of things that we noticed that we talked about already in that first set. I think Dickinson State just needs to clean up a little bit of communication. We had a couple girls going to the same spot on some of their plays. Neither team really able to set up their offense and run it just how they want to. So let's see what set 2 is going to bring.
All right, let's take a quick break, Pace. Let's make it a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with set number 2. Valley City State in a close one takes set 1, 25-23, back in 2 minutes.
Looking for a turnkey business with a proven track record? For over 50 years, our family has helped yours feel right at home with quality furniture, trusted brands, and a service that always came with a smile. Now it's time to pass the torch. Our family-owned furniture business is for sale, including all inventory, delivery trucks, and a loyal customer base. This is your solid opportunity to own a piece of history that is built on decades of care. Call 483-5108 and ask how you can own a piece of family tradition and keep the comfort going.
At Infinity Real Estate Group, we go to great lengths to find the answers to most any questions our clients may have. We strive to do our best to personalize your buying or selling experience with firsthand knowledge.
I really love Dickinson. How is the weather here in North Dakota?
You know what? It's amazing. We can have all 4 seasons in 1 week. When it's time to choose the team to represent you with all your real estate needs, choose Infinity Real Estate Group. Experience the Infinity Way.
Real Estate Group.
Trace Wells and crew from Consolidated. Good to be with you. I'm in Consolidated, Channel 18 tonight across western North Dakota and on the BSU Blue Hawk Network on the YouTube channel. We'll be with Consolidated and YouTube, and then KDIX on Saturday when the Blue Hawks host MSU Northern in football. That'll be up and coming. We did get a ruling and some information that was called a net infraction that time on Dickinson State's Albrecht, and that's why the point went to Valley City State, not Dickinson State. We have somebody in front of us that knows the rules a little better than we do, and they helped us out, so we appreciate it.
Use your resources when they're available. Never be afraid to ask for a little bit of help.
There's no stupid questions. I was told that a long time ago. Even if they are, they're not. So you just ask and you receive. Dickinson State will get the serve from Richter. Across the net it comes. Fernandez saves it. Goes quickly. Albrecht across the net. It's dug out of there nicely by the Vikings, and they're going to return it in a hurry. There's Dickinson State again with Fisher pulling it up, and the pound down is good by the Blue Hawks. A nice job by Dickinson State, and they take a 1-0 lead.
Malone helping the Blue Hawks get the first point of the second set there. We've got Gare back now for the serve for the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, Gare's going to do the honors. Gets it across. Nice little serve, hard to handle, but it was controlled. And there's that number one again. That is Fridgen. Macy Fridgen, the 6'1 senior outside hitter, and she's been problematic for the Hawks tonight. Ties it up at 1-1. Out of the game for Valley City comes Hagler. Into the game for Valley City comes Clark, and she'll serve. So Clark will do the serve for Valley City State. Again ready, comes across the net. Dickinson State, ooh, that's a tough one. Kogochak does a great job of saving it. Gets it across to Ellison, and Ellison puts it across. And there's number one again. Fridgen just pounds it home, and it's a 2-1 lead for Valley City.
Valley City finding the hot hand, going back to Fridgen. Pulling ahead here, 2-1.
So Fridgen again puts Valley out front, 2-1. Ball is going to be controlled by the Hawks, and it's across the net, and putting it through the block that time for Dickinson State is Ellison. Aubrey makes it a 2-2 score. Back to serve for Dickinson State, Pallone. Carmen Pallone out of Hardin, Montana, brings it across. Albrecht, that was Richter trying to save it, but the point is going to go. I believe the Valley City State, it was tipped by the Blue Hawks. I thought we had one earlier like that off the Hawks that was tipped by Valley, but they awarded the point to Valley, and that time Valley gets the call and the tip, and it's a 3-2 lead for Valley City State. There's the service, and it comes back to Dickinson State, and across the line, Richter will dig it out after the tip shot that time, and now Dickinson State's Fernandez will get it back to Kogochak. Across the net it comes. Valley will keep it alive. They go right side to Fridgen, and she'll put it off the block, off the hands that time of Dickinson State. Egan couldn't control it, and Fridgen gets another point, makes it 4-2 Valley City State. So the Blue Hawks down 4-2. Luke lost the first set, 25-23. That one's a service error for Valley City State. Brings the Hawks back to 4-3 on the scoreboard here in Scott Gym. They're down by one. Hawks will serve. That serve comes across the net. Kogochak doing the honors. There's the tip. Kogochak will come up to the net and bring it back to Fernandez. It goes across. That'll be tipped over by Albrecht. Now it's kept alive. There's Fridgen again. Tried to get the point down. Could not that time as the Hawks take it out of there. And the person of Fernandez, Valley City State, keeps it alive. They go back to Fridgen. She'll pound it down. Nice dig deep in the backcourt that time by the Blue Hawks. Across the net they go. Well, that play was set up by number 6. That is Gare, who kept it alive, and the Hawks finished it off.
Yep, Aubrey Allison recording the point for the Blue Hawks here. One thing we're noticing early on here in the second set, Valley City's defense is moving very, very well. They're getting back behind these hard shots from the Blue Hawks, making it tougher for the Blue Hawks to try to find that hole.
Now that tied it up 4-4. Now the Blue Hawks get a hit error by Valley City State. They take the lead back 5-4. Again, ready to do the service honors for Dickinson will be Kogochak. And that's the service ace right off the hands that time of Delaney Clark. Clark, the defensive specialist, also from Bismarck. couldn't handle it. 6-4 lead for the Blue Hawks. There we go.
Finally got the ball back there. A little miscommunication on the serve.
We got to have that to play. There's the serve by Dickinson State. Again, Clark will save this one off to Richter. Richter hits it to her teammate, and they just flip it across the net. Up on the line, there's the shot. Did it drop in? Yes, it did. Nicely done. I think that was Kogosek, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we got Albrecht on that one.
Was it Albrecht? Okay, number 9. Yep, you're right. And Valley City down 7-4. They're going to take a timeout. We'll do the same. Dickinson State 7, Valley City State 4. We're back in 1 minute on Consolidated Channel 18.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here.
The Hub in North Dickinson is more than your ordinary convenience store. From Godfather's Pizza and the Hub Cafe to gourmet coffee, tea, and more. Stop by early for breakfast or grab something to go. We carry a variety of donuts that we make fresh every day. If your vehicle is dirty, we now have a state-of-the-art car wash at both locations. Stop in and see what we have to offer at the Hub located on North Highway 22 or the Hub West Dakota Oil on East Villard in Dickinson. We're changing the way people think about the convenience store industry.
On roads, thank you, Trace Wells and Consolidated Crew. Rod Kleinian and Kyle Smith with you from Scott Jim. 25-23, Valley the first set. Dickinson State leading second set, 7-4. We're in action now as Fernandez will get the pass over on the right side. It drops across the net, keeping it alive. Richter will bring it back into play, and that'll be saved over there by Dickinson State. There's the movement, out of bounds, and the Hawks will get the point. Nicely done. Good defense that time by Dickinson State. 8-4, Dickinson State. Again, ready to serve for Dickinson State. Doing the honors will be Kolachak. Up in the air comes across. Little tip shot, dug out of there that time by Gare. Off the Kolachak, it's dropped in, but a good save that time by Bridgen to keep it alive. Little dip shot again, and the Vikings have done that a lot, and that's been a bugaboo for the Hawks. That's number 16, Rosie Anderson. Haven't called her name till now, but she did a nice job of dropping it in. 8-5, Dickinson State.
Yep, Valley City struggled to find that soft zone again, finding it again here in the second set.
Ready to serve for the Vikings. It is Woolen. There's the shot, and it's in there, and that's Sam Oates. That's a Rita Rocket kill there for Sam Oates. Thank goodness did he hammer it home. 9-5 Hawks.
So good to know we got the Reader Rocket. I thought I was sitting next to the Mott Rocket up here today.
No, I played against the Reader Rockets. Arlen Hoffman guarded me and I guarded him. Hey, we go back, that's how long we go back. The Reader Rockets and the Mott Cardinals, but that was a hammer by the Reader Rockets, Sam Oates. There's the tip, and it's going to be another drop shot as they drop it in again, Valley City State. Hawks dropping back a little too far, and my schismatics on volleyball not real good, but it appears that they're coming to the net in the back row, not quite getting where they want to be. So it cost the Hawks a point there, 9-6. Kelly will serve. Cooley will put the serve in. Fernandez gets it on the right side, on the front of the net that time. The one to Kogachak. Now Valley City returns it off the hands of the Hawks, and a point to Valley City State as it goes out of bounds. And Dickinson State's lead is cut to 2, 9-7. Again, Poolue back to serve. Annika Poolue out of Temecula, Minnesota. He puts it across. Fernandez gets it to Kolachak. Now comes back, and that's hammered home off the hands that time. Well, that was Albrecht. I tell you, with Oates and Albrecht, you have some power for Dickinson State when it comes to getting it across the net if they get it in the right spot.
Got to get in the right spot. Keep going back to the hot hand. Hopefully the Blue Hawks are able to figure a little bit of a run out here.
10-7 lead, Dickinson State. Fernandez with the serve. Richter with the dig. Gets it off to her teammate, and they power it home. Little bit of some of your own medicine by a pretty good volley pickleball player out of Can-Do. That's familiar name up there, Hagler, and that was Danielle Hagler, and she puts it home. 10-8. Dickinson State's lead is 2, and the serve move along. The young lady that served it a lot, Bogenreich tonight, back to serve. Comes across the net. Dug out of there by Koglachak, I believe. And there's the tip. Nope, that's not Koglachak. We'll get the name in just a minute. There's Koglachak. Riley gets it into her teammate's hand. Richter will keep it alive for Valley City. And another little tip and drop shot. 10-9, and the Vikings making money on that one all night long.
You're exactly right, Rod. Back line of the defense for the Blue Hawks just needs to take 2 feet up. 2 feet up, looks like they're going to be in a much better spot there.
There's the serve, and that's a low serve. Fernandez, a nice little dig out. Kolachak tips it to a teammate that time. Ellison now it goes back near side. The dig out of there by Kolachak. Fernandez is going to have to get some help from her teammate, and she does that time from Floyd. Gets it across the net. Tried to drop it again. The Hawks keep it alive. Fernandez does a great job, but it's going to be point Valley City State. Came off that bar on the bottom of it, and we're all even at 10-10 here at Scott Gym. And now Dickinson State wants a timeout. We're even 10-10. Set 2. Valley City State 1, set 1. 25-23. This one equally as close. We're back in 1 minute on Consolidated.
Saving money feels impossible when you're young, but Western Cooperative Credit Union is here to help. Our CU Succeed program gives you monthly interest payments, free checking, easy and secure online banking, and a 1% discount on a one-time loan. Plus, earn cash for being on the honor roll with our Good Grades program. Get started today at wccu.org, Western Cooperative Credit Union. Join the herd. Visit us today. Federally insured by NCUA.
West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company proudly offers products and services that help fuel our customers' lives with clean burning propane and bulk fuel and convenient on-site delivery with premium farm and road fuels. We provide energy where and when you need it most with locations throughout Southwest North Dakota. West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company. Locally owned, locally strong. The products you need with the service you deserve.
10-10 our score. Valley City serving. Logan Wright gets it across the net. Dickinson State will dig it out of there. They'll come back and the ball tips around. Valley can't control it. Nicely done that time by the Blue Hawks Cologne as she got it across. The Vikings unable to handle it. Hawks up by 1.
The difference maker so far in the second set for Valley City is number 10, Danielle Hagler. She is listed at 5'9", but Rod, from all the way up here, she plays much, much taller than that.
That one's going to be saved by Richter, and they'll tip it up again. Hagler will dig it out of there. It's going to be controlled by the Vikings, and they go left side, and a nice block by the Blue Hawks coming across. Floyd, Kate Floyd, a freshman out of Plow, Wyoming, makes a nice play on that hit. Well, they gave it to the Vikings, 11-11, I'm sorry. So back to Valley City, the serve will go. I'll correct myself on that point. Fernandez returns the serve as she gets it off their teammate. And the tip is going to be saved by the Vikings. High in the air. They get it off to Fridgen. She gets it across the net. That's where I think the Hawks would like to keep Fridgen, back on the backside, back line. But she gets up in the front. She digs it out of there. Does Dickinson State. Koglachak gets it off. The ball tipped around, kept alive. Koglachak will get it back to Foy, and Foy will put it across the net. Foy keeps it alive. There's Fridgen again. Dickinson State will dig it out of the back row. Comes to the front row and digging it down, and it's going to be a point for Dickinson State. Good teamwork that time. Hawks never gave up on that point. Looked like they could have, but they get it, and it's 12-11 Dickinson State.
Another good rally. Stuck with it. Found a way to get a point there. 12-11 Blue Hawks.
Doing the serving, dropping back for Dickinson State. I think that's Egan. We'll double check it for you momentarily. Nope, it's not. That serve is an ace for Dickinson State. There you go. That's number 6, Gare. I should have known that. He's had a couple of aces tonight, but Hawks back up by 2, 13-11.
I think Taylor will forgive you with the ace there.
Serve is going to be back row again. The Vikings will save it. Not real pretty, but they got it saved. That comes across the net. Gare will give it to Koglachak. Comes across net, and that is hammered home by Dickinson State Aubrey Wilson. And the Hawks, when they get the set and get the power game, they can get some things done a little bit stronger than Valley. Valley kind of dinks and dives. The Hawks kind of power, kind of an interesting matchup.
Offense, definitely a key thing for the Blue Hawks here. Valley City, just like you said, a little bit better at reacting on the fly in the middle of the play.
Dickinson State drops it in. There's a little drop dink for the Blue Hawks. And Cologne with it. And the Hawks have their biggest lead of the night and biggest lead of the match for Dickinson State in this set, 15-11. Dickinson State will serve again. Gare ready. Taylor puts it across the net, but it goes out of bounds and at the service air, and that gives Valley City State a point, 15-12, and substitutes for Valley City State. 3D comes in for Valley City State, and it looks like number 4, Clark, who does some serving, will step in, the young lady out of Bismarck. 15-12, Dickinson State. And we'll dig it out of there. There's the tip over, and it's across the net. Did it go off the hands or not? Nope, it didn't. So Valley City picks up the point.
Point Dickinson State.
Oh, I thought it was.
Refs had to do some talking there. The officials worked it out.
Let's watch that. There's the ball up in the air and the tip. Dickinson State, yep, it did. Okay, so correct call. It went off of Valley City State hand, and Dickinson State will get the point.
Usually on the replay there, the guilty suspect usually becomes apparent.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of finger waving. We think we pulled back fast enough, but here we are, Blue Hawks serving.
16-12, Dickinson State. There's the serve dug out of there by the Vikings. Clark, she'll get it to her teammate, and a Hawks block at the net. Kogasak and Oath over there. I think Kogasak got the block, and the Hawks lead at 17-12 over Valley City State. Nice job at the net by Dickinson State. They trail in this match, 1-0, 25-23. Close first one, close second one. There's the dig. Did it go in? Yes, it did. Nice job down the line that time by Emma Lucas. Another 6-footer, this one out of Argusville, North Dakota.
Valley City very quick to respond on a little bit of a controversy on that last point. They wanted to make sure to get the serve back.
And they did, and the serve on the way. Dickinson State will return it. Gare will get it across court, and Allison brings it across the net. It's going to be saved by the Vikings. Little dink dive again, and the Hawks couldn't play it at the net. And the Vikings get it back, and there's that young lady again, Pridgeon, just that little tap. That time at 17-14, Dickinson State. Again, the serve by the Vikings. The lefty brings it across, and it's going to be short by the Hawks. And it's 17-15, so the Vikings got down 17-12, 3 straight points, and they're back to within 2. Again, ready to serve for Valley City. Schumacher. This time the Hawks get the third, and there's the point. There's the dig. Schumacher will get the pass back on the right side. It goes out of bounds, and the Hawks get the point back. And that little 3-point run, that mini run, 18-15. The lead was 5, went down to 2, back to 3 now. Dickinson State 18, Valley City State 15. And Dickinson State serving. Valley City's Richter will dig it out of there. High in the air. Pridgeon puts it out there. Was a tap by Dickinson State? It was. 18-16. Pridgeon will check out. In for Valley City State. Comes Wheeland. So Wheeland will check in. So Wheeland checks in for Valley City State. And Wheeland will do the serving. Her team down by 2. Dug out of there by Gare. Kept alive by the Hawks. Valley City gets it back off the little dink by the Hawks. Little tap by Dickinson State. They come back up and tapped up there, and Sam Oates got up to the net, got the hands up, and just tipped it down, and Valley couldn't handle it. 19-16 Dickinson State. Nice job by Oates.
Pridgeon checking back into the game for Valley City. Hawks were able to steal 1 point while she was off the floor, but when she's in there, she is definitely a force to be reckoned with at the net for Valley City.
Dickinson State will serve. Allison doing it. That serves long to Dickinson State. A couple of service errors. And Valley City State back to within 2, 19-17. They won the first set, 25-23. Dickinson State has led for the majority of this set, but it's been close. Biggest lead for the Hawks has been 5. Valley City serving. Puglia will do the honors. Hawks dig it out of there. Collision, a little bit of confusion. And Dickinson State does a great job of saving it. Valley likewise comes across the net. There's Kogachak. They get it off right side. Fernandez keeps it alive. Gets it off to Kogachak across the net, dropping it in. Richter digs it out of there. It comes back right side. And there's Oath again to block it for Dickinson State. So Sam Oath making her presence known at the net.
Gotta love seeing the emotion when you make a big play for your team. Blue Hawks 20, Valley City 17. Fernandez on the serve. Blue Hawks are hoping to finish the set out here.
Ready to go. Fernandez approaches the service line, gets it across the net. Dug out of there by the Vikings. Puglia did the honors, and there's a block again. And that time, I'm not quite sure.
Pallone with the block in the middle.
Okay, I was going to say Pallone or Floyd, but it was Pallone, and it's 21-17. Valley City wants to talk it over. Coach John Michelle saying, let's not let it get away, and the Hawks have the 4-point lead. Back in a minute on Consolidated.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Brevera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts
Let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account.
to wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals. Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
Have you ever left home wondering if you locked the front door or closed the garage door? Did you forget to turn out the lights or lower the thermostat? Who's watching and protecting your home when you're away? Consolidated Home Security and Automation can take care of the little things so you don't have to. With 24/7 monitoring backed by local techs and support, Consolidated has you covered. Call 483-4000. Convenience, comfort, and control in one app. Total peace of mind.
Welcome back to Scott Gymnasium. Fernandez on the serve here. Hits it out of bounds. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight for day one of 3 straight days of action for the Blue Hawks. Tonight, Valley City joining us in the gym. Tomorrow night, Mayville State making the trip to Scott Gym on senior night. And then on Saturday, Blue Hawk football team hosting Montana State and Northern for a 1 o'clock kickoff.
All right, we'll be there all tonight and Saturday with you on Consolidated, on KDIX, and the YouTube channel. It'll be a busy couple of days for the crew. Nice dig out there by Dickinson State that time. Ellison did it. Valley City returns with an equally impressive dig, and the ball back, and they drop it in the corner. And no blue there, and it's back to a 2-point margin after it was up to 5. Valley keeps battling back, 21-19.
Don't listen to us on what needs to happen on defense. The Blue Hawks creeped up a little bit there. Valley City was able to find that back line for the point.
Serving again, Bogan Rife, and gets it back. Dickinson State will return it. That goes across way. Oh, nearly to the floor, but Valley City saved it. Fernandez punches it up. Kolgashak will come, and she'll get it across. And that ball was a tip or not? Nope, it was not. So that time the hit by Floyd goes way long, and it's a 1-point lead for Dickinson State, 21-20. Valley City again, 1-set-1, 25-23. Have trailed most of this one, but down the stretch, battling back. They've got the momentum right now. Kolgashak will get it over. There's Foy again. Foy has it blocked away. It's going to be saved by Kolgashak across the net. Saving it for the Vikings is the server that time, and it goes deep again to Dickinson State. Ellison there. Tips it to Kolgashak, and it's going to be short. Again, Foy way short on the hit. And that's cost Dickinson State a couple of points, and into the ball game will come Gare, and it's all even at 21-21.
One of the Achilles heels of this Blue Hawk team this year is getting the early lead, taking it all the way to the 20s, and then not finding a way to finish it out. See if the Blue Hawks are able to do that here.
Bogan Rife again with the serve. The ball's going to be tipped into the net. It goes to the floor that time. Off the hands of Lucas, tried to get it over, hit the net, hit her hands to the floor. Big point for the Hawks, stemming a bit of a run by Valley City State, 22-21. The Vikings had gotten the momentum back, and that point there stops it a bit for Dickinson State. Checking out is Albrecht, and the serve is dug out by Richter. Gets it back to the net. There's that little dig, but the Hawks recover nicely. Fernandez gets the tip from Kolgashak, and the ball tipped right back through the hands that time of Pallone to the floor, and Valley City State evens it up at 22-22.
Big block at the neck there, and Valley City is seeing Pridgeon check back in for the last 3 points here.
Pridgeon, Macy Pridgeon, the 6'1" outside hitter from Bismarck, has had a great night tonight. And back in there, Fernandez has it, tips it across. That'll go long, but Richter will keep it alive. They get it to Pridgeon. That ball tipped up, saved by Fernandez again. Now, right side to the floor. Nicely done that time by Pallone as he puts it home, 23-22, Dickinson State.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Who's going to get the momentum to take it to the finish? We'll see. We're going again down to the wire. There's a serve nicely done by Dickinson State. That time, Gare got it across. There's Pridgeon. Was it out? It was out. She One of the few times he's made a mistake tonight. He had a wide open lane too, but couldn't put it home.
She doesn't make many of them. Wound up on that one, just didn't hit the right spot on the head.
24-22 on the scoreboard at Scott Gym. Dickinson serving for the set. Taylor Gare doing the honors. The 5'7" junior, Newell, South Dakota. Richter will save it. Comes to the net. Across its block. It goes Richter on the knee. Saves it. Keeps it alive. And Valley City somehow managed to save a point there when it looked like the Blue Hawks maybe have the set in hand, but 24-23, so Valley City will serve.
All J.C. Richter on that one. Adjusted mid-slide down on her knees, able to keep the ball alive for the Vikings. Able to get the point there.
Covering a lot of ground was that young lady out of Linton, North Dakota, to keep the Vikings alive. There's a tip to the net. Kolgachak will get it off. It goes to Ellison. Nice save that time by Fernandez. The Hawks keep it alive. They tip it back court. It's going to be controlled there by Clark. Up in the air. Dug out by Dickinson State that time. And it's going to be on the floor, and the Blue Hawks will win the set. Nicely done by Dickinson State. Kyle, as they well matched the first set scored. This time it's in the Hawks column, 25-23.
Great second set there. Blue Hawks found a way to finish it there at the end, but not without Valley City making it difficult on them. Finding ways to keep it close there in the second set.
1-1. Our score will take a minute or 2-minute timeout here at Scott Gymnasium. I got to get some liquid in me, and we'll take a break here and be back in 2 minutes with set number 3. Again, we're 1-1. Valley City State winning the first set, 25-23. Dickinson State the second set, 25-23. Back with set 3 in 2 minutes on Consolidated.
Howdy, partner. This is Cowboy Clay with my trusty steed, Hercules. There's a new stop on the map, Cowboy Station in Killdeer, North Dakota. Whether you ride steel or saddle, Cowboy Station's got everything you need to fuel your rig, feed your crew, and fill your cup. Remember, y'all, don't forget to come on down to Cowboy Station, where we have everything you need for the trail ahead.
Banking is some of the most important things in your life, and banking at the right bank is very important. We're really proud of our bank because we have great people, and our people are what make our bank go. We always want to treat our customers right and do the best job we can for them, and try to do things to help make our communities better.
So let's say you buy one of those value meals and it costs you about $10. Then they give you one free value meal once a week for the rest of your life. That would be a pretty good deal, right? Well, at Dan Porter Motors, when you buy a vehicle, we give you free car washes for life, valued at about $10. Let's say you wash your vehicle twice a week for 10 years. That comes out to over $10,000. That's a pretty good deal. See Dan Porter Motors for your next vehicle and get free car washes for life.
Thank you much, Trace. Back with you at Scott Gym. We're all even. We said at the top, a battle for the number 8 spot, the final playoff spot. Valley City State, again at 8 and 10. Dickinson State 7 and 11. The Vikings have the first match against Dickinson State, and Valley won it 3-1. We're even here, 1-1. Kyle, we're going to go, it looks like maybe 5. We'll see what happens.
If I was a betting man, I'd say we're going to be here for 5 sets
All
tonight.
right. There's the serve. Garen gets it across. Valley City will dig it out of there. Pulio does it and keeps it alive, and there's the putback by Dickinson State. Cologne starting to make her presence felt a little bit in this second set, and now again gets a point there as she pounds it back home, and Valley can't handle it. 1-0 Dickinson State. Again, Gare ready to go. Taylor hits it across and gets it into the hands this time of Pulo. Pulo across, and that is going to drop in down the line, and nobody able to play it. Keep it alive for Dickinson State. We're even at 1-1. Back in for Valley City State comes down Delaney Clark, and she'll go right to the service line. So Clark will do the honors. Comes across the net, dug out of there by Dickinson State. Gar, and that one across the net. Nice save and nice hit by the Vikings as they get the job done that time nicely. I think that was number 11 for the Vikings, 3G, and she got it into the point area, and the Hawks couldn't handle it. 2-1 to Valley City State. There's the serve. Dickinson State keeps it alive. Comes to right-hand side. They drop it across. That was Ellison keeping it in the air. Now Valley City gets it across. It's tipped up in the air, but the Hawks can't get it across the net. Tried to play it down the net. Trying to get it from Ellison that time to Koglashak, but it didn't work out. 3-1 Valley City State.
Just a few points here into the third set. I think Coach Michael John at that break, attack. Valley City being very, very aggressive at the net right now.
There's the tip shot. It's going to go to nearly to the floor, but Valley saves it. Right side it comes, saved over there by Ellison. They keep it up on the net. There's that little drop shot. Hawks will keep it alive in the person of Fernandez. They go back to Ellison. Tipped back to her, but Fernandez saves it. Then it comes back across the net, out of bounds. Nicely done by Dickinson State. There she is again, Pallone, who's done a good job in this set for Dickinson State. 3-2 Valley on the scoreboard here in Dickinson.
5'10" sophomore from Hardin, Montana, making her presence felt early in this third set.
Pallone will go back, and they'll get the honors of serving. Half ball tipped again, and nobody there for Dickinson State. 3 came to the net, 3 stayed back, and it dropped right in between everybody. 4-2 Valley City State.
Before the night's done, we got to figure out what to call that. I'm leaning towards a changeup, but I'm not sure if that's even close to what it should be.
I call it a dink or a dump is what it is, basically. But it worked for Valley City. Across it comes. There's the shot dug out of there. Pallone keeps it alive for Dickinson State. Now Valley gets the return opportunity. It comes into the hands of Fridgen. She goes across the net, but there with the block. Fridgen tips it right back, and Valley City State goes out 5-2, and there they are again, as Kyle mentioned, at the net, attacking in the person this time of Fridgen. At 6'6", she has been a handful for Dickinson State in this even matchup, 1-1 set-wise, but 5-2 Valley City in set 3. Tipped out of bounds that time by the Vikings, and the Hawks able to get back onto the scoreboard, 5-3. Coming back in, Micaiah Albrecht will check in, the pin, 5'9" senior out of Bozeman. Koglashak will do the serving honors. Riley gets it in the backcourt. It's hit there by Clark, and now it comes nearly out of bounds. Blue Hawks trying to save it. Koglashak does, and Fernandez will push it across the net, keeping the point alive. They come right side, and that's off Fernandez. Off the hands, off the head, out of bounds, 6-3. Valley City, a power shot that time by the Vikings. I believe that was 3G who did the honors for Valley City. So 3G gets the point. The Vikings have a lead of 6-3. Rector will serve now for Dickinson, or for Valley City State to Dickinson State. Koglashak gets the serve, gets it across. A nice job that time. That was tipped. Well, they say Valley's point, 7-3. Okay, I thought it went off Valley City and out of bounds, but the award of the point goes to Valley, so they get the point. 7-3 lead for the Vikings. Richter again, little drop shot. Fernandez comes up. Right side, there's the shot. Richter digs it out of there. Gets it to her teammate, Schumacher. Comes back to Dickinson State. Fernandez puts it up near the net. Tough play. The Hawks keep it alive. Now they go right back to Schumacher. Schumacher tips it across. Dickinson State keeps it alive. Richter puts it back towards the net. There's a shot. Dickinson State digs it out of there. Koglashak to Fernandez. Now it comes up, and it's going to go off the hands of a Viking that time. Powered that time on the hit by Dickinson State's Albrecht. 7-4 Valley City State.
I know a lot of people like to say hitting a baseball might be one of the hardest things to do in sports. I'd like to see one of those people try to return one of these spikes from some of these young ladies.
Ellison with the serve, gets it across. Valley keeps it alive. Little dip shot again. And again, Valley City State. The dink and dump, I call it. They come away with it again, and they've had a lot of the double D's tonight. Dinks and dumps and dunks in this one. And they got it done again. 8-4 Valley City State. Back to serve for the Vikings. Annika Puya, the freshman. Fernandez tips it backwards instead of forward, but it's saved by Dickinson State. It goes off the Vikings that time. Oh, it doesn't go off the Vikings. Okay, it goes off Dickinson State. 9-4 Valley City.
Anytime the Blue Hawks so far in this third set have found any sort of success, Valley City very, very quick, put their foot down and go for another point or two without the Blue Hawks ever getting a point.
There comes up to Oates. She'll tip it into the backcourt. Save there. There comes a little dip and dive again. The Hawks control this one. There it goes to Pullian, and she'll put it down. Oh, let's check it. That's Kolachak. Excuse me. Kolachak comes up with the kill on that one. 9-5, Valley City State. 25-23 were the identical scores in the first set. Valley City with 25 in the first set. Dickinson State in the second set. Third set, the Vikings with a 4-point lead, 9-5. Fernandez will serve. Heads it to the back row. Be dug out of there by Schumacher. Fernandez comes back, saves it. Nice dig that time by Garrett across the net. Richter keeps it alive. They come back up, a little dig that time, and the Hawks will control it. Fernandez again gets it up and put down again. That time the Blue Hawks get it from their team, and that goes to Albrecht as she puts it across, 9-6. And Dickinson State again will serve. Fernandez will do the honors.
Albrecht, Kogelchak, and Pallone all in for the Blue Hawks now. See if they're able to use those spark plugs to get a little something going for Blue.
Fernandez serves. Again dug out of there by the Vikings. Puya. Now they tip it in the backcourt. Fernandez gets it off quickly to Ellison. Across there, and there you go. Big time hit by a young lady that's done a lot of serving. Taylor Gare, but she put it home. 9-7 Valley City with the Hawk points. Fernandez again back to serve. Fernandez readies herself. Puts it across. Richter will return it. Gets it to the net. There's Fernandez returning the shot. They go cross court. Gare again drops it in, and she's found a little rhythm. The young lady out of Newell, South Dakota with back-to-back points makes it a 9-8 game in favor of Valley City State. And both coaches up and down in this one. Fernandez drills it to the back row. It's going to be pumped up across the right side. Nice little save that time by Ellison. Now it comes across. Gare again. At that time, did it go out of bounds? Yep, it did. It was tipped by Valley City State as it's tapped out of bounds by the Vikings. 9-9, so a nice little run here by Dickinson State. 5 straight points. Valley City State wants a timeout. We'll be back in a minute, all even, at 9-9.
Big Boy Toys.
Looking for a turnkey business with a proven track record? For over 50 years, our family has helped yours feel right at home with quality furniture, trusted brands, and a service that always came with a smile. Now it's time to pass the torch. Our family-owned furniture business is for sale, including all inventory, delivery trucks, and a loyal customer base. This is your solid opportunity to own a piece of history that is built on decades of care. Call 483-5108 and ask how you can own a piece of family tradition and keep the comfort going.
With you 9-9, nice little run by Dickinson State. They've worked their way back into set 3 for even 1-1. So Fernandez will do the serving. Trying to keep this run going for Dickinson State. Hits the back row, dropped in. They're just about dropped it in, but the Vikings control it. Fernandez comes up. It's going to be saved there by Kovacic. Docked in the back row. Vikings keep it alive at the net. Coming across, there's that little dig by Dickinson State, but unable to keep it in place. So that ends that 5-point run by the Blue Hawks. Vikings back up 10-9.
Rod, I know I'm a rookie on this one, but usually when you see a timeout in football, it's usually allowing the coach a little bit extra time to talk to the referee or the official. Both these young coaches, though, for the Blue Hawks and the Vikings, take their timeout to refocus their team. Working well for the Vikings coming out of that timeout, though.
Dickinson State gets it right back as we seesaw back and forth. Albrecht Gets the hammer in the air and puts it down for Dickinson State, and we're even at 10-10. Back to serve for the Blue Hawks, doing the honors. Taylor Fisher will serve. There's the tip up there. Dickinson State had it. What do we got? Point to Dickinson State. They say in the net again, I think, and I don't quite understand that rule. I didn't think it was in the net, but maybe too far over the net. I'm not sure.
Don't say you can't teach your dog old tricks. It's the second time we saw that one tonight. We're learning slowly.
11-10, Blue Hawks grab the lead. Valley City's going to return it. Fernandez keeps it alive, gets it over there. There's the shot again. Kovalchuk had a tip back, and there's a nice hit. Valley City, great job keeping the ball alive. Tipped in the back row, beautiful save, but they can't get it across. Great effort by the Vikings. Puglia that time, but the Hawks battle hard to win that point and take a 12-10 lead. That was just pure determination by Dickinson State and Valley, but Dickinson State got the point. Again, ready to serve Fisher. To the net it comes, and there's a little dig, and that's a nice return by the Vikings. As that time hammered home by Hagler. That makes it 12-11. Dickinson State 1-point lead. Checking in for Valley, Whelan. She'll come in and serve. Hawks get some encouragement from their teammates. Gare, who's had a nice third set for Dickinson State. There's the serve. Fernandez gets it to the net. Kovalchuk keeps it alive. They tip it down, and the Hawks get the point. Nicely done that time by Pallone as he tipped it a little bit deep, and Valley City that time brought the back row way in and couldn't get back to the tile, and 13-11 Dickinson State.
Yeah, I know North Dakota's full of lots of little towns, not many smaller than Daisy, North Dakota. So great to see Hannah out here competing in college volleyball.
Valley City will return the serve from Dickinson State. In the back row, nicely done by Gare, gets it to the net. There, Allison tips it back into the Valley City side, but it comes back across to Fernandez. Now up to Kovalchuk. That comes across. Oh, great dig, great save by Kovalchuk that time, but Valley responds. Great battle that time. Last time the Hawks got the battle. Both teams gutted it out. This time Valley gets the point, and they're within one, 13-12.
Macy Frigian back in the game for the Vikings, immediately making her impact known.
Dickinson State again will receive the serve. This time it comes across the net. From Clark to the net it comes. Dickinson State's Ellison, was it in? Nope, it was out. Tried to find the line, but could not, and we're even at 13-13. Dickinson State and Valley City State. Tony Simeon up, signaling some signs into the Hawks. There's the serve by Clark. Comes to the net, put up the net, battle there, all across the net it comes. That didn't go very far, very hard, but Valley kept it alive, and they dig again. Keep it alive, right side set, serve it out of bounds, so in the Hawks. They'll get the point. That time a little too hard on the fire by the Vikings that time. I believe that was number 13, Lucas, who tried to get it in, but it was outside the line. Hawks back up 14-13. Ready to do serving for Dickinson State. Coming across the net that time is Pallone. Valley gets it back. There's an outside hit again, but too hard and too far again by Lucas. And Dickinson State back up 15-13.
Blue Hawks finding a little success here, starting to stretch away a little bit, 15-13. Pallone on the serve here for the Blue Hawks.
She is ready. Comes across. Nope, doesn't get across the net. There's that service there. 15-14. That would be the only thing when I follow volleyball that drives me crazy is hitting it into the net, but serving is not an easy thing, and Pallone just about had a great serve there, but it's a game of inches, and that time didn't get across the net. There's the lefty in to serve, and that's going to be dug out of there by Gare. They come across the net, digged it off the service. The server hand that time for Valley City. Clark served it, couldn't keep it alive, and the Blue Hawks go back up 16-14.
Aubrey Allison coming up big for the Blue Hawks right there.
Back to serve. Riley Kovalchuk in. The junior pounds it into the back row. Valley trying to keep it alive. Ooh, off the net. They do keep it alive, but they can't keep it in play as it came off the net, and then the hit back across the net goes out of bounds in front of the scores table. 17-14. Dickinson State.
Gracie Schumacher doing everything in her power there for the Vikings to keep that ball alive, giving themselves a chance.
Kovalchuk again drills that one too hard, too far, and out of bounds. Not back-to-back service errors, but two service errors. Keeps Valley City within two at 17-15. Dickinson State by two. Back to serve for Valley City. J.C. Richter, the senior, 5'9", out of Linton, North Dakota. Approaches that service line, puts it across. Fernandez digs it out. Krogachak comes across to Oath, and that's going to be off the hands of Dickinson State and out of bounds, and it's a 1-point match right now. We're set 17-16. Dickinson State by 1. Richter again ready. Dickinson State takes a look at J.C., approaches, fires. Nearly confusion in the back row, but the Hawks keep it alive, and they get the point out of that. Nicely done that time by Krogachak as he pounded it across. Valley City got a hand on it, but couldn't keep it in play. And Dickinson State leads at 18-16.
Albright again coming in huge for the Blue Hawks on that one.
Back to serve for the Hawks. Aubrey Ellison, 5'7" junior, drops it in. Kept alive by the Vikings that time. Schumacher, and that's going to go long and deep, and the Hawks get it off their hand. And Valley gets the point out of it, 18-17. Hawks couldn't maintain possession of that one as they battled hard, but it goes to the Vikings.
Fernandez in the right spot, but man, does that ball come fast.
Comes hard and fast, like Kyle mentioned. Here's the serve by the Vikings trying to tie it up now, 18-17. That ball's going to be out of play just about, but the Hawks do keep it alive. And there's the dig in the back row that time by Ellison. They come right side to Gare. Gare puts it back into play. The Vikings keep it alive. There's that tap. Dickinson State digs it off the floor. Here comes the tip. It goes into the hands of Richter. Back to her teammate Ellison, and it goes off Dickinson State. Fernandez couldn't save it, and we're even at 18-18. And this third set, man, has this been competitive tonight between these two teams. Two evenly matched teams, two teams battling to stay alive in the playoff race. Valley City right now in 8th, Dickinson in 9th, a game separating them. No separation in this match. Right now 1-1 and 18-18 on the scoreboard. Richter high in the air with the tap, goes back row, saved there by Dickinson State's Ellison. Now they come across, and that one served way over the end line that time by Dickinson State. And that time Gare got too much on it, and Valley has come back after being down by 5. They lead by 1, 19-18. We're even 1-1 in sets. 25-23, each has 1-1. We're back in a minute on Consolidated.
At Infinity Real Estate Group, we go to great lengths to find the answers to most any questions our clients may have. We strive to do our best to personalize your buying or selling experience with firsthand knowledge.
Hey Ben, we love the house, but how's the hunting?
Actually, the hunting around here is great. I'd love to show you some spots.
When it's time to choose the team to represent you with all your real estate needs, choose Infinity Real Estate Group. Rooster. Experience the Infinity way.
Infinity Real Estate Group.
We've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge that your Touchstone Energy Cooperative honors each and every day. When it comes to keeping things running smoothly or getting them back on track when they're not, we've got you. Always.
Now back with you. Pulu will serve for Valley City State. They now lead 19-18. Ball's going to be saved in by Fernandez and back into Richter's hands. He'll tip it to her teammate. They come across. Point nearly lost by the Hawks, but they kept it alive on a nice dig. They come back to the net through the Vikings, and there's that tip, and it's going to be controlled back row by Ellison. They come up, Gare with the hit, but way out of bounds again. Gare, the last two times, really powering it way out of bounds. 2018, Valley City State now by 2 as they have battled from 5 down to regain momentum and the lead. Again, the Vikings ready to serve. Pulu will bring it across. Fernandez puts it near sideline. Nice dig out there by Albrecht. Across it comes. Vikings looking for some help from a teammate. They get it, and now the return that time by the Vikings. Matching Gare's return. Lucas just drills it way out of bounds, nearly into the wall. 2019. That stops that run by the Vikings, and the Hawks now looking to grab some momentum back.
Rod, it's looking like the Blue Hawks have changed things up on defense a little bit to try to take away that dink and dunk that we've been calling all night. Struggling a little bit on the offensive side to get the ball back over with that new look. Let's see if they can finish it out here in the back half of the third set.
Well, we're ready to go back into action. The ball put into play. Valley City tips it towards the middle. They keep it alive. Nice dig that time by Kolachak. Gare will put it back. Fernandez sends it away from the back row across the net on the third hit. There's a little dive across the net, way to the back row again, and it's going to be controlled by the Hawks. Gare will drop it in play. Richter tips it to her teammate, Schumacher. They do the little dink and dive, but the Hawks handle it. Right side, there's the tip, saved up in the air. Does it come across? It does. The Hawks dig it out again after the Vikings do the same. There's the serve off the net. What do we got? Point to Valley City. They say in the net, I do believe. Was the call? I'm not quite sure. 21-19. But the point to Valley City State, and they will have possession of the serve. In to do the serving will be Bogenreich. Bogenreich will come in to do the serve. Bogenreich doing the honors with a 2-point lead now. 21-19. Ball going to be controlled by Dickinson State. They drop it in. Nicely done. Dickinson State says, there's a little dink and a little dunk. Cologne does the honors. 21-20.
Neck and neck down here on the final stretch of the third set. See which team able to pull it out. Which one wants a little bit more here?
It's just amazing how close this match has been tonight, all the way through the first three sets. Tip in the air, controlled by Dickinson State. Fernandez gets it back to Gare. Gare returns it deep in the back row. Apula gets it across. Again, Fernandez brings it up, and they bring it in, and we're tied up again. As Dickinson State, thanks to Fernandez doing some work, makes it 21-21.
Being aggressive and opportunistic with some of those balls that are landing right there on the net. Blue Hawks taking advantage here.
21-21. Hawks try to grab the lead back in a match that is even, one set apiece. The serve, deep back row again, dug out of there by Puya. And that one's going to be a point for the Vikings, as coming up hard was Lucas, who had some problems keeping it in play, but not that time. He dropped it off one of the Hawks' hands, and Valley City back up 22-21. And the serve for the Vikings. Whelan comes back in. The senior 5'4" out at Daisy, North Dakota. The serve comes back. Fernandez gets it to her teammate. They come right side. The ball put into play. Valley keeps it alive, and it goes into the hands of Whelan. There's a dig by Dickinson State, but not good enough, as they could not keep it in play off the hands and arms that time of Dickinson State's Cologne, and Valley by 2, 23-21. And the ball back to the Vikings.
Emma Lucas again there. First time we've called her name all night, it seems like, and she's coming up with 2 huge points for the Vikings here in the third set.
Gare puts the ball into play. Vikings are going to return it, and not well. Hey, they got a stop on Frigden. Haven't done it often, but the double block there, as coming over that time for Dickinson State was Kolachak, and also over there for Dickinson State, I believe, was Albrecht, and they blocked it 23-22.
Hit it on the head there. Not often tonight. Frigden being left alone by herself out there, not coming down with the point. Blue Hawk defense coming through that time.
Valley City with the lead. The ball out of bounds, tipped by Dickinson State. So the Vikings have a chance to grab the set here, 24-22. Valley City, they'll serve in to do the serving. Delaney Clark will do the honors for Valley City State, trying to make it a 2-1 Viking lead. Ball high in the air on the serve. Comes right side. That's going to be out of bounds. Nope, it's inbounds for Dickinson State. So they stay alive, 24-23. Valley City and the Hawks have the third, up or down by 1. Cologne will do the honors. Drops it in the backcourt. Richter gets a hand on it, keeps it alive. That little dink and dive doesn't work. This time they keep it alive. Oh, a tough move there, and not a good set that time, and Valley City State will win it. There you go again, another 25-23 match as the Vikings get this one. Unbelievable how competitive and how close this has been, but Valley City wins it 25-23.
And this crowd's finally starting to get into it in Scott Gymnasium. Valley City parents and fans are sitting off to our left side, the Blue Hawks off to our right side. I feel like we're getting plenty of interaction back and forth here finally. More and more students have continued to trickle in here after the dinner rush, after practices, getting some homework done. So let's see what the final 2 sets of tonight are going to bring us.
Well, I think it'll be like the first 3, 25-23 Valley in set 1, 25-23 Dickinson in set 2, 25-23, Valley City in set 3. Back with set 4 in 2 minutes on Consolidated.
The Hub in North Dickinson is more than your ordinary convenience store. From Godfather's Pizza and the Hub Cafe to gourmet coffee, tea, and more. Stop by early for breakfast or grab something to go. We carry a variety of donuts that we make fresh every day. If your vehicle is dirty, we now have a state-of-the-art car wash at both locations. Stop in and see what we have to offer at the Hub located on North Highway 22 or the Hub West Dakota Oil on East Villard in Dickinson. We're changing the way people think about the convenience store industry.
Saving money feels impossible when you're young, but Western Cooperative Credit Union is here to help. Our CU Succeed program gives you monthly interest payments, free checking, easy and secure online banking, and a 1% discount on a one-time loan. Plus, earn cash for being on the honor roll with our Good Grades program. Get started today at wccu.org. Western Cooperative Credit Union. Join the herd. Visit us today. Federally insured by NCUA.
West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company proudly offers products and services that help fuel our customers' lives with clean burning propane and bulk fuel and convenient on-site delivery with premium farm and road fuels. We provide energy where and when you need it most with locations throughout Southwest North Dakota. West Dakota Oil and Fitterer Oil Company. Locally owned, locally strong. The products you need with the service you deserve.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Brevera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts,
Let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account.
to wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals. Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
Thank you much, Grace. What a night of volleyball it's been. The two teams battling for that final playoff spot. Valley City State and Dickinson State, set 1. Valley City State 25-23. Set 2. Dickinson State 25-23. Set 3. Valley City State 25-23. Don't get much closer than that, does it? In volleyball, count 2 points.
I don't think you can. I think that's about as close as you can get it to finish it out.
No, basketball, baseball, you get 1 point, 1 run, but volleyball, you got to win by 2, and that's what's happened between these two extremely evenly matched teams tonight.
Yep. And again, it's Pink Out Night here in Scott Gymnasium. Tonight's sponsors, Edith Sanford Breast Cancer Center out of Bismarck. Thanks for all that they do for survivors and cancer patients in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota.
Well, Dickinson State will receive the serve from Valley City to begin our 4th set. It's alive now. There's the tip in the air, controlled that time by Pallone. Back to Kolgasak. Now it goes to the floor. Valley keeps it alive, but the Hawks do the same. Allison to the front row. Gets it across, and it's dropped in. Nicely done that time by Taylor Gare. I like Gare. Gare's played pretty well after serving well, and now he's done some things away from the serve also for Dickinson State.
Yep, and she's kind of hitting from that attack line back there, a little bit further back from some of the rest of the Blue Hawks. Gets a little bit different look there on the Valley City defense.
Serve by Dickinson State comes across the net, and it's pounded across, but the Hawks can't keep it in play as it goes right out of bounds off Aubrey Allison's hands, and we're even. Why not? At 1-1. I think the biggest lead anybody's had has been 5 points tonight, and we have had a multitude of ties in this evenly played match tonight between the Vikings and the Blue Hawks. And now that one hangs on the net. Kolgasak tried to push it across, but could not. 2-1 Valley City State.
And as we saw in that third set, no 5-point lead is safe.
Yep.
Valley City storms out ahead a little bit. Blue Hawks find a way to come back, but at the end of that third set, Valley City able to pull away.
Fernandez keeps it alive off the punch back by Valley. Now it's kept alive by Oates, as she keeps it alive, or Garrett keeps it alive. The ball drops in, comes across in the backcourt. The Vikings do a good job of keeping it alive, and there it is. It was in. The point to Valley, and there's Tridgen doing it again for the Vikings, and it's a 3-1 Valley City State lead. The Vikings return to the service line. Delaney Clark will do the honors. Drives it back deep. It's controlled by the Hawks at the net. There's a pound down by the Blue Hawks. Cologne says enough's enough and puts it home on the pound down 3-2 Valley.
Nobody can blame us for not being creative with some of our adjectives that we're using tonight. The pound down from Cologne.
Ball's going to be up in the air and controlled by Valley. Richter does the job, keeps it alive, but no teammates can help her out. And she says, my fault, I hit it too high. Nobody could get to it to return it. Here we go again, even Steven at 3-3. Again, doing the serving for Dickinson State. Carmen Pallone, the Hardin, Montana native, puts it in the back row. It's controlled by the Vikings. They bring it to the net. Is that in? Yes, it was. I've got to get new glasses. I said, I looked at that. I swear to goodness that was out of bounds, but they said it was in, and they're right down here, and we're up there, so it's a 4-3 lead for Valley City. The ball moves too fast for these old eyes. Serve is going to be put into play by the Blue Hawks. They drop it down on the line, comes across the net. Back to Richter, who plays it into play with a looked like it was going to be out of bounds, and that one is out of bounds on the hit return by the Vikings. And Dickinson State evens it up at 4-4.
Yeah, admittedly, one of my first games, not just being a spectator or a fan for a volleyball game, but how fast these young ladies react to the play is just incredible when we're sitting here trying to communicate it.
You have to be athletic to participate in this sport. No ands, ifs, and ors about it. Oates puts it across the net, but Valley City State returns it on the save, and there's another little tap across, but Valley there to punch it right back, and they're going to save it again. Let's see if they can do it one more time. Oates pounds it in the air. Kolachak keeps it alive, and it's dropped in that time as Dickinson State gets the point. Albrecht Micaiah. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Is that Micaiah or Micaiah? Albrecht does a good job. Micaiah makes the point, the pin for Dickinson State, 5'9" senior Bozeman, and now the Hawks have a 1-point lead in the service ace for Dickinson State. Kolachak does the honors for the Hawks, and they lead at 6-4 now. That's Scott Jim. Kolachak will go back to serve again. Riley drops it in the back row. It's going to be dug out by Valley City State. That one's going to be out of bounds that time, one of the few times. Pridgeon had a free go at it, but just hit it too hard and too far, and now the Hawks go up 7-4.
Quick 3 points there for the Blue Hawks. Pendulum's about to swing back. Let's see where we head.
Service comes low, but it dug out of there that time by Clark. Clark comes across the net. That time 3G saves it. Back to Hernandez. Hernandez, miscommunication there between Dickinson State, between Kolachak and her teammate Allison, and it fell right in between them, ending that nice run by Dickinson State. 7-5, Dickinson State set 4. Valley City State leads the match 2-1. All scores have been 25-23 in this one.
Wheeling in to serve for the Vikings now.
Comes across the net, Dickinson State. What do we got on the net was Valley City State. Number 10, they say. Hagler on the net. 8-5, Dickinson State. Ellison will do the serving. Aubrey. Shepherd, Montana. That's not a real big town either, Shepherd, Montana. Daisy, North Dakota isn't very big. Shepherd, Montana isn't real big. There's the serve. Hagler comes to the net. It goes out of bounds. The touch glass by Dickinson State off the hands of the Blue Hawks. And Hagler just powered that one through the Blue Hawks player, and it goes out of bounds. 8-6 our score. Dickinson State by 2. Valley City by 1 in sets. 2-1. All 25-23 tonight at Scott Gym. We'll see what this one brings. Kolachak tips it back off. Dive down low that time by Dickinson State. Kept it alive. There's a little tap, but Kolachak there to Fernandez. Fernandez across the net. That goes off the fingertips of Valley City State. Oh, they're going to give the point to Valley City State. Okay, 8-7. I'd like to. They don't use instant replay like they do. Boy, I thought that was off the fingertips of the Viking player. But
to attribute that one to the old eyes up here in the Crow's Nest tonight.
Dickinson State by 1. There's the tip. I love consolidated replays. They're right on top of it. Football, basketball, baseball, great to have them with us. And sometimes we see things that other people can't see with those replays. Valley City keeps it alive. Tip in the air. Fernandez has it. She'll bring it back to the net. Oates just pounds it to Richter across the net. There's the tip again, and that's going to be controlled by Hernandez, keeping it alive off a couple of lucky hits by the Blue Hawks. Out of bounds. As it goes out of bounds, and Dickinson State will get the point, leading 9-7 in a battle there. But that was a great exchange.
That was a good rally there. Good rally there, and just right on cue. 9-7 here, Blue Hawks. Neither team able to pull away.
Fernandez back to serve. Comes to the service line, brings it across. Pujol gets it to her teammate, and that one's going to be trying to control the save. Did it get across the net? It did! The Blue Hawks keep it alive. Stayed inside, and it stays alive.
Not sure how Palone found a way to get that one over the net, but she does.
Kogachak though can't keep it. Goes across, but the Vikings pound it back across the net, and nobody able to reach it. As hard as Albrecht tried to, couldn't get to it, and we're back to a 9-8 score. Dickinson State by 1.
Yep, number 10, Danielle Hagler for Valley City, proving to be a little bit of a difference maker here in the fourth set.
9-8, Dickinson State. Serve comes across from Bogan's right, and there's the serve. Nice dig and save. Do they keep it alive? They do. Dickinson State, Fernandez gets the return of the hit for Dickinson State, and that's going to be hit hard by the Hawks, but Valley City State digs it out. On the floor nearly, but the Hawks come back with a save as we rally back and forth again. There's Richter high in the air. Her teammate comes across to the net. The Hawks pound it in the air, but it comes back to Valley. Left-hand side, it comes back to Dickinson State. Kogachak gets it off to her teammate, and the Hawks finally win the point as it goes off the Valley City State Vikings. Palone got the point, 10-8, Dickinson State.
She was aggressive early on in that rally there, proved to be the deciding factor for the point. Blue Hawks up 10-8.
Well, these two teams just battling like crazy in this match tonight. There's the tip of the ball by Valley. They keep it alive. Dickinson State digs it out to the net. Comes Gary, and it goes out of bounds, and Dickinson State gets the point off Valley City State. Nice job that time by Gary. She did a good job and picks up the point, 11-8, Dickinson State. Back to serve for the Blue Hawks. Taylor Fisher. Fisher brings it across, dug out of there by Valley. They come net. There's the dig, and that's going to be a point for the Vikings. Nicely done that time by Lucas, as he came strong to the net and just got it in a good spot and pounded it across, and the Hawks unable to return it. 11-9 lead for Dickinson State. Richter will do the honors serving for Valley. Hawks will stack the right side of their volleyball formation. Comes back. It's going to be controlled up in the air, tapped up there. Dickinson State keeps it alive. And now what have we got? It's on the net again for Valley City. And Dickinson State gets the point, and they lead it now by a score. It could be 12-9, I think. Oh, no, they gave it to Valley again. Excuse me. Boy, that's confusing to me. He pointed towards Dickinson State, but he pointed that they were on the net, not Valley. So it's 11-10 the score. Dickinson State by 1. Up in the air. Dickinson State drives it in the back row. Nice job by Gare, but it's controlled by the Vikings. Tipped by Dickinson State, and nobody goes to it for Dickinson State. Fernandez looked at it, thought she should go, and once she thought it was too late, and it dropped in front of her, and it's 11-11.
Valley City clawing their way back into it right here again.
Yeah, it has been that way all night long. It has been a battle. One team goes, one team does it, then that team comes back, and now Valley City a little momentum, and now they get the lead back. 12-11. Dickinson was up 11-8. Valley City on a 4-0 run, and Coach Simeon wants to take a timeout. Valley City with the momentum. They lead 2-1. They lead set 4, 12-11. We're back in a minute.
At Consolidated, we believe that neighbors serving neighbors is what it's all about. Now, when you partner with us, we'll give you up to $150 bill credit for every neighbor or friend you refer to Consolidated. Receive a $50 credit for one service, a $100 credit for two, even $150 for all three services. Choose from internet, telephone, or cable TV. Plus, there's no limit on referrals. Get to know your neighbor and earn $150 in bill credit. Find out more at consolidatednd.com.
Howdy, partner. This is Cowboy Clay with my trusty steed, Hercules. There's a new stop on the map, Cowboy Station in Killdeer, North Dakota. Whether you ride steel or saddle, Cowboy Station's got everything you need to fuel your rig, feed your crew, and fill your cup. Remember, y'all, don't forget to come on down to Cowboy Station, where we have everything you need for the trail ahead.
12-11, Valley City State in the fourth set. Blue Hawks bring it across the net on the serve by Richter. Up in the air, it's tapped. Kogachak keeps it alive. Fernandez comes up, tips it back. Gare gets it across the net. It's into the net almost, but Valley saves it, and Valley gets the point. They battled hard, and they lead it 13-11. That's a 5-0 run now for the Vikings. They've come from 11-8 down to 13-11 up, and they have got all kinds of momentum now, up 2-1. Again, Dickinson State and Valley both need this to keep their hopes alive in the playoffs. Hawks maybe even a bit more than Valley City State. There's the tip back, and it's going to be controlled by Ellison. She'll get it back to the net. Gare puts it across the Valley. Richter got out of the way, and there's the dig and the pound and the point for Valley City State. Frigden does it, and all of a sudden, Valley City State can do no wrong. The Hawks can do no right. 14-11, Valley City State.
And Rod, we mentioned this a little bit earlier in the broadcast, one of those rare Thursday night volleyball games. So unfortunately, my kids were not able to come here tonight, but I'd like to wish a quick good night to Jet and Brannigan, who are watching from home.
Oh, you got to let them stay up till it's over with, for goodness sake. There's the tip in the air controlled by Valley City State. They get the point, and the run is on for the Vikings. That is a run. They were down 11-8, and they now lead it 15-11. Richter on the service roll right now for Valley City State. And she is on fire. And that one hits the net and rolls over, and that's when you know things are going right. 16-11, Valley City State.
And back to that comment on volleyball being a game of inches, just rolled over and died. 8-0
run for Valley City State. And they're on the verge. Oh, there's finally, that one didn't roll over though. What a run by J.C. Richter and the Lady Vikings to come from 11-8 down in the fourth set to 16-11 up, now 16-12. Checking in will be Gare for Dickinson State. Checking out for Dickinson State will be Gall, a sophomore out of Tabor, Alberta. Chinook High School, Montana. Chinook High School, Montana. There's the serve. Back row return that time by the Vikings. Julia puts it up. Hawks with the point. 16-13 as Dickinson State picks it up. Back to serve for Dickinson State is Taylor Gare. There's the drive of the serve. Richter will play it to the net. Coming up, digging it down. Boy, Frigden has just been unstoppable for Dickinson State tonight. They have not been able to match up. She's had some misfits, but not many. And she put that one home, 17-13. Valley City gets the point and gets the serve back, and in the serve, Delaney Clark out of Bismarck. Brings it down low. Gare will put it into the hands of Kolachak. It goes off the fingertips, but it'll be saved in play by Valley City. Pounded down, and Dickinson State gets the point. Nice done by Pallone that time as she gets the tip back over, and Valley City unable to return it. And it's 17-14 in favor of the Vikings. Service by Dickinson State comes back row. Comes to the net, right side, and the Vikings get the ball back on a nice dig by Dickinson State. There's Gare again. Off her head, stays alive. Hawks keep it alive, and now into the net comes Dickinson State. And Valley City gets the point.
Coach Simeon sharing a rare conversation with the official on that one. She strongly disagreed there.
Yeah, I didn't think it was either, but I am not a volleyball expert on rules, so we'll let the official. Kept alive by Sam Oates. Now they go across the net, 18-14, Valley City. Puts it up in the air, Dickinson State will save it. Gare, Polachak, Oates will drop it down low. It's going to be high in the air, controlled. And there's that driving drive by Frigden, but the Hawks able to play it and keep it alive, and dropping it in. Nicely done. That time by Pallone, a big point there for Dickinson State, 18-15.
Yep, Aubrey Allison coming in big for the Blue Hawks right there to trim the lead to 3 for Valley City here.
Excuse me, I said Pallone, it was Ellison, with that. Serve going to be controlled by the Vikings. And they dig it deep. Hawks dig it out of there, off the light. It stays alive, no whistle, so the play continues on. Tipped in the air, coming back. They're going to go to Frigden. Tapped in the air. Kolachak gets the tap, keeps it alive to Hernandez. Right side, pounding it down. Not able to get the point with Albrecht, so it stays alive. Bridging into the net, off the net to the floor. 18-16, Valley City's lead cut to 2, and the Hawks will get the serve. Kolachak will do the honors for Dickinson State.
Frigian didn't like the way that one was coming to her, tried to adjust with a little bump pass to get it over the net. Not able to clear it there.
Kolachak drops it low, just dug out that time by Clark. There's a dig down and a beautiful serve that time. A dig, a great serve, and then an equally good dig by the Vikings, and they take a 19-16 lead in set 4. They lead the match 2-1. 25-23 Valley, 25-23 Dickinson, 25-23 Valley. But right now, 19-16 Valley in the fourth set, which could be the decider, might not be. Ball tipped up and kept alive by Lucas. Lucas for Valley pounds it across, dug out of there by Gare. Kept alive by Dickinson State. Into the net, into the floor. Nicely done that time by the Blue Hawks. Albrecht, Micaiah Albrecht does it, and it's 19-17, Valley City State.
Gracie Schumacher for Valley City there, really making a play to help her team keep the ball alive. Just unfortunate not to be able to kind of get it up there for that third hit.
Ellison will do the serving for Dickinson State. Clark will dig it out. Going to be punched up in the air by Schumacher. Across the line, Fernandez gets it to Kolachek. Kolachek goes to Gare, and Gare puts it home as she pulls the trigger and drives it to the floor. 19-18. Back to serve for Dickinson State. Aubrey Wilson remains in there. The 5'7 junior. Aubrey Ellison ready. Drops it down. Dug out of there by Clark. Clark again right side. Pounded back. Clark gets it right back off the return by Lucas. And now it goes in and deep. And Kolachak couldn't get there. Ellison couldn't get there. 20-18. Valley City State remains in front by 2 points.
We're deep in the fourth set here, and both big hitters for both sides keep finding ways to dial up just a little bit more power on some of these shots.
Ready to serve for the Vikings. Puyu gets it back. Fernandez off the floor nearly, digs it out of there, and there's a block. What a block on a power hit by Dickinson State, but there to block it was Rosie Anderson, 6'1 senior out of Moorhead. Big play by her, and Valley now just 4 points away from taking the match. 21-18 they lead over Dickinson State. Here's the serve by the Vikings. Fernandez, Hawks need some momentum here. Tough play and no play at all, as Dickinson State didn't get it to where they wanted it to, and it drops to the floor, and the Hawks, Coach Simeon knows they need a timeout because they're in a hole right now. 22-18 on consolidated. That's 2-1. Valley City State 3 points away from winning a big match on the road tonight. We're back in a minute.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
What do you get when you buy a vehicle from Dan Porter Motors?
Ooh, I know. Buy any vehicle from Dan Porter Motors and get car washes for life.
That's a long time when you're...
Well, back with you at Scott Gym, 22-18. Kyle, down the stretch we go. Here's a serve by Valley City. It's going to come across the net to Puyo. Dickinson State got an opportunity to return it. Gare gets it across. Valley comes on the attack. There's a dig, and Valley City keeps it alive, as Dickinson State likewise does the same. Nice hustle by the Hawks to keep it alive. Richter keeps it off the net. They dig it out again. Does Kolachek for Dickinson State to Fernandez. There it goes right side. It goes over to Albrecht, but Valley's got the answer, but Dickinson State returns it. The dig by Ellison. Richter puts it to the front row. They come up there, and that's out of bounds. And Dickinson State will get the point as Valley City State goes out of bounds on the hit, and it's 22-19. Dickinson State down by 3.
Blue Hawks very relieved to get the point. Coming out of the timeout there, get the serve back. Fernandez back to serve for the Blue Hawks.
So Fernandez will put it into play for the Hawks from the service line. Across it comes Richter. Digs it out of there, gets it in the right side and right off the hands that time of Fernandez on the return. And there's 3G doing the honors. He's had a lot of answers tonight that the Hawks haven't been able to answer.
Danielle Hagler again.
23-19, Valley City State with the serve upcoming for the Vikings. Bogenreich back there. Dickinson State needs a couple of points in this one, and Richter returns it to the front row, and there's a dig out of there by Dickinson. Nicely done by Allison. It comes up front. Is it out of bounds? Yep, out of bounds. So match point, set point for Valley City. They lead at 24-19. Dickinson State will have to go on an amazing run to keep their night alive, as Valley City needs just 1 point, 24-19. Up it comes to the line. Dickinson State returns it high in the air. Goes off the service line. They keep it alive off the pipes up above. Dickinson State, Ellison gets it to the net. Kolachak puts it in. Did it go out of bounds? It's out of bounds. And Valley City State will win it 25-19 and win the match by a margin of 3-1. And with that victory, Valley City State almost assures themselves of the number 8 spot with 2 victories over Dickinson State. The Hawks will drop to 7-12. Valley City State will go to 9-10. Now, mathematically, the potential is still there for Dickinson State, but Valley City State, again, will have a match tomorrow night against Bismarck State, and then 2 matches next week. The Hawks have Mayville State tomorrow night, and then they come back on the road next week with a couple of matches against Carroll and Rocky Mountain. So the Hawks tonight needed a win, not to maybe clinch a spot, but to keep their hopes alive. And with this loss to Valley, Kyle, it's going to be difficult, but not impossible for Dickinson State.
And both teams knew coming into tonight that they needed to basically win out to control their own destiny. If there's any silver lining, you look at the Blue Hawks rest of the schedule, they've got a little bit easier path on here on the end of the season. Yeah. Valley City, their silver lining is they finish their season at home, but they bring in 2 very, very tough teams. Number 7, Bellevue, and Dakota State, which is receiving votes in the last poll. Dickinson State, a little bit easier path, bringing in Mayville, and Rocky Mountain College, 2 teams that have struggled a little bit this year. So, going to be a race to the finish line here at the end of the season.
All right, your final score again tonight. Trace, do we need to take a break, or can we wrap it up? We can wrap it up. Okay. Again, let's run you through the final scores tonight. 25-23, Valley City set 1. 25-23, Dickinson set 2. Set 3, Valley City State 25-23. And the final set, Valley City State 25-19. Valley City State, again, with that win tonight against Dickinson State, improves in league play to 9-10. Dickinson drops to 7-12. Overall, both teams are identical, kind of like this match was. Very close, 11-13 for the Vikings, 11-13 for Dickinson State. Dickinson State will remain in the number 9 spot, just outside the playoff potential. Valley City State will stay in the number 8 spot. And again, behind Dickinson State, Mayville State, Bismarck State, and Rocky Mountain. So those teams do not have an opportunity to get close to making it to the playoffs. Dickinson State does, but Valley City State, again, with the win. Hey, great job, Kyle, tonight. Fun to call the game with you, or the match with you, or the sets with you. Interesting night of volleyball. I haven't done it for a while, but fun to do. And it just kind of catches you a little bit how fast the action really is.
It's a great learning experience. Let's see if we're the only 2 volunteer guys to ever be fired from a gig like this. But, above all else, great night of volleyball here in Scott Gymnasium. We really appreciate everybody that traveled this way from out of town, from out east, out in Valley City to make this one. I'll say it at the beginning of the broadcast. I'll say it again now. One of the things that makes this Frontier Conference so special and small college athletics so special is Mom and Dad are able to be at the game. We recruit the kids in our backyard. We're able to get them here to attend our universities, and there's nothing better than seeing a volleyball game like this on a Thursday night.
All right, that's going to do it. Great job, Kyle. Good working with you.
Thanks, Rod.
And thank you, Trace and crew. We thank you for your job tonight. Again, Valley City State wins it 3-1 over Dickinson State. For Trace Wells, all the great sponsors on Consolidated, and Kyle Smith, I'm Rod Kleinman. Until next time, so long, everyone, from Scott Hill.